Mr. Regan and Miss Yuka with your math lesson today.
Good morning.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to our math lesson today. We're going to be continuing with our word problems, and your learning objective here is I can solve one-step word problems within 100 and use models to show my thinking. Your language objective is I can explain the strategies I use to solve the problem using base 10, decomposing, or your number line. And then you can explain first I, then next, and finally, if you're going to show your thinking with your problems. With our vocabulary, we have addition, we have subtraction, we've talked about equation, and we've talked about units. And we're going to talk to you more about this when we talk about the read, draw, and write, and then writing again. We have counting on and counting back as our math strategies that we're going to be showing you when you solve your word problems. All right, for a little number talk with our bar model. So this is a bar model, and if you notice that the top is 11, and we want to make the two numbers be the same. So if we had 11 at the top and we have 7, we can kind of think about what this number might be.
Mr. Regan, is this kind of like a fact triangle? Kind of?
Yeah, I think we could think of it as a fact triangle, right? Yeah, so 7 plus something is going to be 11.
Or I could do 11 minus something equals 7. What did you guys think? Can you think in your head without drawing? Mentally, can you solve for that question mark? I'm thinking 7. I'm thinking 4 if I count on.
You got it, Miss Yuka. Perfect. Yeah, so we could either be counting on from 7, like Miss Yuka did, count to 11, or you could think of it as 11 and you have the 7. If you take that away, then you're going to be left with this number here, and that's going to be the 4. Let's try another problem. So if we had 18 on top, and that's going to be at the top of the triangle. That's our total. That's the big number. And if I looked at these two, I want to think about what's going to be this missing number. If I had 14, what's going to be that missing number?
Can you
think what do you think at home? What do you think it might be?
You can think of it as an addition, right? Yeah. 14 plus that something makes 18. Or you can think of it as subtraction, right? Start with a big number, take away that number that you know to figure it out. Mr. Regan, I'm thinking it's 4 again.
4 again. Nice thinking, Miss Yuka. Yeah, I kind of like the counting on. I think a lot of us think of it as numbers, and we see the 14, and I know I can count 15, 16, 17, 18, and I can count up onto 18 to make them be the same, right? So we want them to be the same amount when you solve those types of problems. All right. We're going to do a little bit of review here. Read, draw, and write.
That's right. So just a little review. So first step, you're going to read, right? Sometimes we say reread. So that's our first one. Then you have to make sure, if you can click Mr. Regan, you're going to make sure that you're going to draw and label. That just means showing your thinking, right? Decomposing or number line or base 10. We want to show that thinking. Your teacher's going to ask for that. And then you're going to write your equation, okay, your number sentence. And the last thing you're going to do is you're going to write your word sentence. I know it says write your word sentence, but what it just means is you're writing an answer and making sure that you have a unit, okay? So we'll check for that today and get used to this REW, kind of like a double W.
Great, yep. And we do want to make sure because you're counting the same units, right? You're counting unicorns or people or cupcakes, right? So we want to know what you're counting, okay? And we have our first story problem here for us. So here we go. So if Lisa had some books, and remember that's going to be a really key word when we say that some number of books. She gave 41 books to her friend Molly. Now she has 26 books. How many books did Lisa have to begin with?
Try it. Yeah. So Lisa had some books. We don't know how many books she had in the beginning, but we know that she gave away 41 and she still has 26. So we're going to think about how you're going to solve for that first number. So let's have a look, and maybe we can use a little bar model to kind of think what we know and what we need to figure it out.
Yeah, let's look at that. Yep. So with our bar model, we want to be looking for that missing number. And we know that this number is going to be, I'm going to just move our screen down here, I think a little bit. We know that this missing number is going to be more. It's going to be a bigger number. Think of that fact family triangle, and that's that number up at the top, right? So we want to, this number is going to be greater. It's going to be bigger, right? And that's what we're still looking for. Okay, and so if we had 41 is one of the small parts, and we know that 26 is also going to be the other part. So we could, I think, Miss Yuka, squish those two together, and that will tell us what that top number is going to be.
Yeah, so I think the strategy to solve this is to add 41 plus 26 to get that first big number, the biggest number, because I know in subtraction, we always start with the biggest number. All right, so let's see how we can solve it. And I think I solved it using base 10 strategy. I wrote the equation, the main equation, but I knew I was going to add 41 plus 26. So let me show you what I did. So I drew 41 in blue, right? 4 tens and 1 1. And then I drew 26, 2 tens, and 6 ones, and I add them together. So when I went to the tens, I counted there were 6 tens, so that was 60. Then I counted the ones, they were 7 ones, so that was 7. So I knew 60 plus 7 equals 67. So I wrote the answer, 67 books. We're gonna go and check for our REW. Are you ready? I read the problem. There goes my number sentence, my equation, right? And then I drew and labeled. I showed my thinking. And finally, I wrote the word sentence and answer with units. So REW and another W. I have it all.
Great. Yeah, and it's also thinking, I think you were like counting on because you had your 41. And then if you counted on, you're just counting 26 more, and that's what you got to your 67. Really nice thinking. And you did it color coded. You counted more with a different color, and that made it really easy for me to see. Really nice job. Let's try another one. All right. So with this story problem, it says a teacher bought 75 pencils for her class. So I can have that mental picture. I already see 7 tens and I see my 5 ones. I can see 75 in my brain. 1 week later, some pencils went missing. Oh my goodness. 59 pencils were left. How many pencils went missing? Yeah, so if we looked at our number sentence, and this kind of, when we write out our number sentence first, sometimes this helps us kind of really think about, what am I going to be looking for? I know I had 75 as the big number, right? Thinking of that fact family triangle. And then I know that some pencils went missing and we're left with 59.
Yes, and we can try that on our bar model. Here we go. So 75, we knew it started with 75 pencils. That was the total. And some went missing. We're not quite sure, but then we still have 59. So I'm going to ask you this question, grade 2 friends. How would you solve for this problem? Would you use a count on, or would you count back? Let's think about it first. Mr. Regan likes to count on, right, Mr. Regan?
Yeah, I kind of like the counting on. Sometimes subtraction is a little harder for me in my brain. So I often like to start at 59. I know it's close to 60, and then I can just keep counting on to 75. So I do like to count on with this one. And I think we have a math strategy here for you of how we would do that. Okay, here we go.
Right, 75 minus blank equals 59. I'm going to figure out how many pencils are missing. Since I'm using a count on strategy, I'm going to think in my head 59 and how many more make 75. And to solve this problem, I am going to use a number line as my strategy. I'm going to draw my line. First, I'm going to start on 59. Then I'm going to hop 1 because I want to get to that closest 10, which is 60. After that, I am going to do 10 hop to get to 70. Finally, I'm going to do 5 little hops to get to 75. And to figure out how many I counted on, I'm going to add my hops. 10 plus 5 is 15. 1 more, 16. I'm going to write my answer with my unit. 16 pencils.
Very nice job, Miss Yuka. Yeah, and I think we have another way to think about
75 minus
Yep.
blank equals
The other one. Yep.
to figure out.
Yep.
You can go to the next slide, Mr. Regan.
Okay.
Okay. So another way you can think about it is instead of counting on, you can think about it as counting back, right? So you can start from 75 and to subtract 59, because you know that one, to figure out that unknown, okay? So you can, if you can click on the, yep, here we go. So we can think about it as a subtraction. And if you're going to do that, that is what you want to do, then you can think of your strategy. Which one would you like to use? And let's see how this could be solved in using a different strategy.
75 minus blank equals 59. I'm going to use a count back strategy. So I'm going to think of it as a subtraction to solve for this unknown. And I'm going to use a base 10 model to solve this problem. First, I'm going to build 75. Away 59, which is 50 and 9. I'm looking at my ones and I can already tell that I don't have enough ones. So I'm going to take my 10 and I'm going to make 10 ones. I'm going to exchange it with 10 ones. Now it looks like I have enough ones. I'm going to take away 9 ones. 9. Then I'm going to count what I have left. 6 ones left. Okay, then next I'm going to look at my tens. I know I have to take away 50, which is 5 tens. So here we go. 10, 20, 50, and I have 10 left here. Finally, I am going to look at what's left. I have 10 ones. Sorry. I have a 10 and I have 6 ones. So 10, 6, 16. My answer is 16 pencils.
That's really great, Ms. Yuka. And I think that it's so awesome because you get the same answer, right? I think that's why math is so awesome, and that we get to check our work and we still get the same answer with different strategies too.
That's right.
Awesome.
So friends, you have 2 problems to solve, okay? We're not going to read it. We are going to let you read it and reread it. Make sure that you are following the REW and WW, and then you are checking your answer. So you have 2 problems. The first one is about children playing on the playground. The second problem is about, can you click on cupcakes? That's right. And you please enjoy solving the problem. We cannot wait to see your thinking.
Great.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye, boys and girls. See you later.